All of the past humans have been able to live on the bounty of an earth that included this amazing diversity. And this diversity itself is what makes the earth so livable. It's what makes it so interesting and beautiful and fecund and fertile and healthy and vibrant and hospitable. It's the diversity. And, you know, an asphalt lot with a big tree growing in the middle of it is not a hospitable place to live, despite the fact that there's a 200-year-old tree with branches spread. It's better than an asphalt lot without a tree, but it's still not diversity. It's still just one big old being. And these big old beings, these old growth trees, I mean, they're incredibly important. They're incredibly important for themselves as beings that have lived here since before our ancestors even came to this continent. They're important for all the fungus, the lichens, the squirrels, the voles, the owls, the other birds that live up and down, all of the soil fungi and all of the nematodes and all of the amazing creatures that live under the ground in that interwoven root system that symbiotically holds the whole forest up. But it's basically, these trees are like the structure. They're like the scaffolding that holds up the whole house of a healthy ecosystem. I can say it in words, you can watch it on TV. If you walk through a tree plantation and you step out of that tree plantation where almost all the trees are of the same age, almost all the trees are of the same species, they were planted there by humans, they were developed genetically to be what human beings wanted to have. You walk out of that and you see what grows there, you see what lives there, you see what it feels like, and you walk into an old growth forest. That is exactly what used to be where that tree plantation was. It's like a line that runs sometimes, a line where they drew and they said, cut here, not there yet. You walk across that line and you're back on earth. You're in a place that has been like it has been, living on its own terms for 10,000 years, more. I mean, you could argue forever. The tree plantation is a product of industrial civilization, an industrial civilization which has no proven track record of lasting 10,000 years, 1,000 years. I don't think it's going to last 100 years. What they're creating has no heart. It has no sustainability. It is like the mentality of the machine. It only has value in that machines come back after a certain number of years, cut it all down, do it again, and pretend like they can do that over and over. Just like the early farmers in America pretended that they could grow crops without fertilizing until the Dust Bowl came. So we deplete the soil, we grow the tree farm, and all the species, all the predators, all the species that live in the canopy, all the species that live on the ground, all the species that haven't even been documented that live in the soil are gone. Sometimes they're gone in that they just shifted to another place in the forest, but sometimes they're gone forever, and that's extinction. And extinction is not death, it's the end of birth. It doesn't come back ever. And what that means is that all future humans and all future life of all kinds on the planet will never again experience that thing that's not there. And it's not just like we only do this in America. It's not just that this has only been happening for the last, since Bush got elected. This is something that human beings have been doing ever since human beings have become more powerful than the other critters in the forest. But what's happening is it's happening at a rate that is accelerating. We're hitting that point in the curve where it starts to go up so fast. And so the amount of extinction that's happening now is happening at a much, much faster rate than it ever happened in the past. So how much we're losing, it's like a blink of an eye. It's like one generation doesn't even know to the next what used to be there. And one generation to the next doesn't understand how what used to be there used to be important. And we think that our machines and our science and our advertisers and our computers are going to be able to replace that and give us a high quality of life. But I don't think there's any reason to believe that in the long term, that's really what's going to matter. I don't think that we should save the forest solely on human terms, but I think it would be a fool to think that we can live without this. If all we did from now on was go back to the places that have already been cut and cut the trees there again and again and again, I still would worry for the earth. But even in 2005, people are still going through and looking for the places that have never been cut before. And what's left on the planet? I don't know. It's less than half by far. What's left in the lower 48 of the United States of America? It's 5%, 4%, 3%, some people say. The government won't give you a number that's any higher. And so when will we stop? Who is extreme here? Who are the ones that are stating the extreme position? The ones that are saying we've taken 97 and we want 98 and maybe 99? Or the people that are saying, can we just leave this 3% alone, and can maybe we start to heal some of the 97? I mean, Americans, people around the world, they want wood products. I was burning wood in my fireplace today, and I am going to continue to write on pieces of paper. I'm going to continue to engage in using some trees from the forest. But I hope that the way I'm going to do it is using recycled content wherever I can. Never cutting trees from forests that's never been cut before. Always trying to engage in a way that uses the minimum amount possible, looking for serious alternatives. I mean, to do other than that is just to basically be the one that's handing over the money to somebody else to do the dirty work. And that's what's going on right now. 2,000 square foot houses with people who, they have rooms filled with stuff that they don't even want. They don't even go into those rooms. They only use them to put the stuff that they don't want, that for some reason they got as presents or they bought and they thought they wanted it. It's a whole section of the house. That's ridiculous. People are buying these big houses because they're good investments, because they can get mortgage deductions on their income taxes, not because it provides them with a healthy, vibrant place to live. So I don't understand it at the heart level. I understand it at the economic level, but I just don't understand, I don't see people who have big empty houses having big full lives. So, that's why for me, give me the space that I need. It's not a lot. Make that space efficient, make that space healthy. Make it in a way that when it's over, I feel good about what's gone because of what I did. And make it in a way that when I'm gone, it itself is just going to melt back into the earth, and it's not going to be a big eyesore. It's not going to be a gash out of the forest. My house is not going to be a gash out of the forest, because my gash is just one. 280 million Americans all gashing. There's not much left. And I don't know what people believe, but they're still cutting old growth forest. They're still trying to destroy these last few places. And, I got a map behind me that's filled with just my neighborhood, where there's a mark everywhere they want to destroy the forest, And people are fighting them. We win sometimes. We lose sometimes. Every time we win, it's just a matter of time before they try to take that place again. Every time we lose, it's gone forever. I mean, I'm not saying a forest never grows back, but they don't plant forests. You can't plant a forest. They plant tree plantations. That's what they want to do. They change the logic of symbiotic life working cooperatively to create diversity and stability and health. And they change that logic to the logic of the market that says, how do we produce what the market wants as fast as possible? It's a logic of money, but it's not a logic of life. The logic of life has a proven track record of billions of years. The logic of money doesn't have that track record, and I don't think there's any reason to trust it.